Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome to all the leaders, all the members of our team inside of this project that we have been a part of and come to understand that there had been so many different changes that has led us to where we are at today. Um, the company is SCF. From where we understand, when we got in, it was FinTalk. They transitioned, had their blockchain developed and user assets, member assets were all converted into nodes, which were or are mining tokens on their SCF blockchain. Now, one thing is the blockchain is a real blockchain, it's EVM compatible, but we have not seen any use case or global adoption of this blockchain because it's built on two parallels. One is a centralized chain, and the other is their open source chain, right? So that is the update we know of the technology they have. Now, the next thing is when user assets were converted, we had the opportunity to actually stake. In the beginning. We're staking, right? And we're earning from staking, and that got transitioned again. And then they went on to what we call SCF 2.0, where we're just stuck with these nodes, right? And now we are not able to directly extract value from these tokens the way that we had in the beginning, which was through the app, just click on it and convert to USDT, right? And so throughout this transition, there's different theories and different ideas going around. But as a team, most of us decided to hold on and wait to see if there will be any further developments that will allow us to extract value. So if you're here today and you're a part of FinTalk SCF, maybe you haven't checked your app and you're just tuning in, user assets were converted into nodes, which are mining the SCF token on the Fin chain, right? Now, these nodes produce tokens on a daily basis, right? We'll go into the app also. Actually, let me do that now. Okay. Let me do that now before we come on to the FSP update. It's this app. Okay. Okay, so let me do this, make sure I'm at the right one. Okay, I just use this wallet. Okay, so if you get the updated version of the app, this is what you should see, right? All the different announcements you would need will be up top, or we're just strictly going to go into it so we can explain to everyone what's going on. So when you go to profits, right, this is where you are going to see if your assets have been converted to nodes, you're going to see that they have been mining in the section called My Mining, right? So here you can see an example of a node. At the time, it was 100,000 USDT that I actually put into this node, right? And it mined coins. Currently, it has mined a total of 2,786 coins. It would have been great if we could just, extract every coin, but there is a linear release, which basically allowed for part release of the tokens. So it came in different tiny bits as we went up, and then it got to a point where now we're getting the full release. So here you can see it's earning 4.5 tokens a day, right? You are able to withdraw these tokens. You click on extract, you withdraw these tokens, they're in SCF Fin, and then they will go into your wallet. Now, the next part is here. Okay. So now you extract these tokens. Let's go see the price of SCF, right? I want us to understand something. So this is the price according to the Fin chain, which is also relaying the data to the main chain. But guys, it's been over, I believe, about a year now. right? We haven't seen any way that we are able to access liquidity through SCF inside of the ecosystem in the way that we used to. So personally, even though we do see transactions of buy and sell, this is where my opinion comes in, guys. Okay, I'm showing you the charts, but I'm about to start with my opinion. It's led me to believe, or this is once again my opinion, that the equity that we had is not backing these tokens. So even though we can see the price and then we have FUSD, right? There's almost 900 million worth of FUSD. FUSD is supposed to be paired with USDT inside of this opportunity. But if the value was real, then that would lead us to know that then they still had the equity. So since it's on the Fin chain, data on their chain is only relating to their tokens. But the reserve that backs these tokens, personally, I believe does not exist. And that is why there was a transition to the FTC token, right? Where the company then went and announced to us that if we want to extract value from SCF, we would have to go through FTC. What is FTC? FTC is the token for the FinTalk that was launched prior to SCF even coming into play or into fruition. So now when you look at FTC, this is the, to quote unquote, once again, this is my analysis plus my opinion. This is the only token that actually has real equity attached to it because it's running on a decentralized chain that we know called the Binance Smart Chain, where they cannot fake the data or they cannot manipulate the data over there. Market cap is at 67 million and it has over a million USDT in liquidity, cash available for exchange. Now, the only problem that lies with this is due to the mismanagement of the entire project, we do not see outsiders even interested in interacting with this token because there's no marketing, there's no excitement in the community, there's no online presence on social media, there's no one talking about FTC is going to go to the moon, blah, blah. So load up your bags, right? So what can we do now, right? FTC, as you can see, is on chain. It has real transactions that are ongoing, right? They have some bots that are trading it. That's what happens with almost every token on Binance Smart Chain, whether you people decide to promote it or not. There's bots that know how to read charts and just grab that 0 point whatever percent every time it goes up and down and duplicate it multiple times. So there is activity. And you can also see users, members like us in the community who are selling their FTC tokens, right? So we asked as leaders, we asked all the questions, guys. Over the last couple of months, we have been knocking doors, asking questions, deliberating with other leaders from different groups, trying to figure out if anyone has heard anything as far as SCF being able to be used inside of the ecosystem for other things, even other things that we can convert to liquidity. And the answer I've gotten every single time is either no or there is no roadmap as of yet as to what they can do now with this SCF token. So that leaves us to only one option. And the only one option is to exchange the SCF token for FTC, then for USDT. So how do you do that? So if you're on the home screen, there is a logo at the bottom right corner called FSP, right? You're going to click that logo. Then you're going to come on Quick Exchange, right? So here at Quick Exchange, you are able to convert. Some of you have your assets in FUSD, right? You're able to exchange the FUSD. So in this example, I will do 300, right? FUSD. Exchange it for SCF main, right? You go ahead and do that. Transaction in progress. Transaction soon completed. Should complete any second now, right? Okay, done. So now it added to my SCF main. So now what I'll do is I will convert my SCF main to FTC. That is what we are able to do, right? FTC. So by clicking on FTC BEP20, it will allow the swap. Now, here's the catch, right? The coins are 1:1 in terms of the number of tokens, but the coins are not 1:1 in terms of the value. The FTC derivative is actually based on real market transactions, live data from buys and sells that are going on chain, on a decentralized chain on Binance. While as with SCF, we see buys, we see sales, but we cannot validate the liquidity behind that data. So the price is not the same. Okay. This price to me is not a reflection of the true price, but the price of FTC to me is the reflection of the true price until maybe something changed drastically, right? But once again, we've waited for so long, guys. I believe at 2025, we should be able to come to some type of closure as far as to what we can do here, right? As opposed to just hopefully waiting for something that has not come into fruition yet, and with lack of proper communication as to what is even going to occur, right? So now we are able to convert SCF to FTC. I'm going to do this in this example. I am going to convert 40 SCF to FTC, right? 40 SCF will give me 36 FTC tokens. Why? There's a 10% cross-chain fee plus the gas fee. So I do the exchange. And right there, my 40 FTC is going to get converted into 36. Sorry, my 40 SCF is going to be converted into 30 FTC. Okay. Let me just wait for this transaction to complete. The cross chain, sometimes it takes a minute, takes a few minutes, could take maximum maybe 15 minutes if the network is congested, but usually it takes about 2 to 5 minutes, right? Also, for the users who have SCF fin, right? You can convert your SCF fin to SCF main, okay? Then you would convert the SCF main to FTC. So in this example, the SCF fin is what you generate from the nodes, right? So in this example, I can just convert 44 SCF fin to SCF main. Let me just do 4, right? In this example, 4, hit on exchange, and then just do that. But what this is while we are waiting for the SCF cross chain to convert to FTC. Let me just go ahead and show you guys this. So that's how you convert your SCF fin to SCF main. Then once you have the SCF main, use remember the arrow, up and down arrow in the middle of the screen on the left side allows you to switch the rows of the tokens, the position. So SCF main is what we now convert to FTC. As you can see, the FTC is completed. I have 37 FTC now, okay? So now I am going to convert it to USDT. So let's go in the wallet just to see, okay? Let's scroll down to FTC. So the FTC tokens have arrived, guys. Now, can you see the value now? I didn't even have to sell it. It's on chain, so it can give you the actual value. The addition of 36 FTC with the whatever I had left, I had like 1.8 in there, right? 37.8 FTC is not the same as 37.8 SCF, as you can see. It's only worth $3. Why? Because FTC currently is only worth about 10 cents a token. Not 65, not 74, 10 cents a token, right? That is why I said in my conclusion, it's come to my understanding that the SCF, the company behind, the team behind, they have not done what they are supposed to do. Their job was to market their token, provide liquidity to grow it enough for the exchange. But yes, there is liquidity, don't get me wrong, but it's not substantial to maintain any reasonable price. That's why every time someone sells, sorry about that, guys. That's why every time someone sells, there is a quick drop in the price, right? Or a gradual decline in the price, as we can see, is moved from 17. Some people were selling, right? Once again, some of us were waiting, right? Some people were doing this whilst others were waiting, because once again, there were so many ideas going around, and we all had different beliefs of what was going to happen, right? So a lot of us ignored this because at the time you were still losing equity, but it was better than even today's price. So guys, this is the current price. Now, it's up to the community if they want to market and promote and grow FTC, just like any meme coin, right? Somebody asks, what's the use case? Well, there's no use case right now. Just like 99% of the entire crypto market. It happens to all tokens. So it's a token thing. We get it. But when we got in, the entire system was not built on the premise that we would have to shield to outside communities. That's why nobody took the incentive to shield or to share or to promote the token. We were relying on the dynamics of this ecosystem with over 700,000 holders to be in a position where we would earn dividends, be excited about the opportunity, and in return, people would have then shared. But the way things change with assets being converted and all the different changes and the locks and the ability to sell directly, it took away all the excitement from the community and any trust or confidence the community had, right? So this is where we are at now. So you can, guys, you can, and I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to convert the FTC that I now have, 37 tokens, right? I'm going to convert it to USDT. So these 37 tokens is going to give me $3.24. That's it, guys. So if you choose to exchange, this is what you should expect. It's over a 99% loss in the price, the value of the price. If you say, well, I'm not going to be with the team that's going to believe that, this is at a standstill, and so I'm just gonna wait. You have the option to wait, right? But once again, we asked and we asked and we asked, and we don't see any reasonable resolution as far as what they're going to do with the SCF token, right? Many of us thought that when FSP came out, we're going to be able to use SCF along with FSP. We'll talk about that in the next part, right? So this is just to show you guys how to convert. So I'm going to go ahead and convert. Guys, I've already converted hundreds and hundreds of SCF tokens for chump change of my own tokens that I've earned, right? So I'm not saying something I haven't done, right? It's already been done, right? And I have different wallets. So here we're just going to go through this example. Just gonna wait for the transaction to complete. And once it completes, I will have my 3 USDT here. The 20, boom. That's it, right? So the 638 coins, which some would believe that should be at $70 a token, so it should be worth a couple $100. It's not, based on the conversion to FTC. So guys, this is all we can do. If somebody says, what can I do with my SCF tokens I've been mining? To be honest, you extract your mining, you come here to exchange, you go on the main chain, you convert your SCF fin to SCF main or your FUSD to SCF main, and then you would convert that SCF main into FTC. That is what we have now today, okay? So that brings us to the conclusion of the SCF and what we can do and the closure that I believe many of us need, because at this point you can definitely off your own assumption call this a token rug. We got rug pull on the coin. That's all it is. We got whether it's from the people that made the project, the biggest holders who were the same people that were behind, with the project having the most coins because they would get in early, buy all these tokens. They had a lot of liquidity, provided liquidity, removed their liquidity after they earned the fees, right? But the token has been a disaster, hence there is no equity to extract, right? And same thing happened with what many different tokens. Some people bought Shiba Inu at the top, put $1,000, came back during the bear market and it was worth only 20 cents, literally, right? So that's the very, very unfortunate side of crypto. But once again, things would have been different if this project had more transparency and able to communicate with the community because once again, over 700,000 holders. If they were doing the right thing, I believe we could have easily all shared this token across different meme coin communities. Just say, guys, an exciting meme coin. You can buy it low. It had an all-time high of whatever it is. And so if you get it now, you might have the chance to get some value when it goes up. That's speculative. That's 95 to 98% of all crypto. Everybody hits you out, they say, hey, you can get in early. It's a likelihood it will go up. You ask them what's the likelihood, they say people buying it. That's it. Just nothing else, no intrinsic value other than speculative. But unfortunately, there was that lack of transparency, communication, and excitement in the community could not let this happen with this token. Now, can things change? Yeah. If a group of people came together, took this token on, bought the bottom, and shielded like 90% of all crypto people are doing, it would have it would make some type of value. Whereas now we can extract and be excited. But right now, guys, that's the price. So you can go ahead and do that if you're looking to extract value all out of the SCF, right? Somebody says doesn't mean it was a waste of time. I didn't did, you know, that's your own conclusion, right? I just gave you my opinion, right? And based on how I understand it, but you can say it however you want to say it, waste of time, no value, it's not worth much. It's all up to you. But guys, this is where we are at, right? This is where we are at. The nodes, we already discussed the nodes. You go right here, you see your nodes, they are mining, and you withdraw. You're mining. So everybody, you go to my mining to get your node. I mean, to get your tokens from the node as it's mining, right? And you come to the FSP logo at the bottom left. Okay. You're on the main chain. You convert your SCF fin to main. Then you convert the main to FTC. And then you can sell the FTC for USDT at a 99% loss in value. Okay. So that brings us to the end of the SCF part. Now, quickly, we're going to talk about FSP, right? Quickly, we're going to talk about FSP because FSP was another phase of the opportunity, right? Some members, I would believe about 90%, actually 95%, right, of all the members in my team, for example, did not partake in FSP. And there was a reason when it came out. I strictly, had the opinion that it's not something I would encourage anyone to do because we have a history with the company already where we had assets that we were still trying to figure out what to do. So when we had the Zoom, I said, look, you guys can only tackle this opportunity based on you looking at it as a new opportunity with your own risk. This is a token that they were launching. You provided they called it the hackathon donation. So you donated your USDT. 80% of all the funds that were donated were actually paid in commissions to everyone in the community who was involved in sharing. So if you shared with one person, that person, when they bought their FSP, you got commission out of it. So it was only about 20% of the funds that was actually in the ecosystem, and 10% was supposed to go into the liquidity of FSP to always keep it sustained, and 10% was supposed to go in the liquidity of FTC, the token we just spoke about. So with all that analysis, that's where I understood that at this point, I don't see this company doing exactly what they're saying, which is to put value back into the community. I don't see that personally. If I did, I would say something different. But guys, at this point, I've come to that conclusion because when this came out, I said, you know what? For those that were going to get involved, it was going to be good for the entire community because that 10% could have pushed the price of FTC up, right? When you go ask customer support, you ask any of the Asian leads that are on the Zoom calls that explain what's going on now, no one can tell you what happened to that 10% because it never went into FTC, right? So FTC has not been able to sustain, but FSP, they launched it. FSP was going well. Everybody was able to extract their assets. And then once again, what did they do? They created a whole new change and said you would have to now put in liquidity in order to get your daily linear release of the FSP donation packages, right? So anyone that purchased FSP, what you have realized that you came to a point where you had to provide LP of 100 USDT worth minimum, which is $50 worth of FSP and 50 USDT paired together in the liquidity pool. I would go in the app and also go through that, right? Now there is a new update. They have decided to migrate and transition FSP to FSPX, and these are the reasons they gave as to why the token FSP also crashed, right? Once again, guys, the same blueprint playbook has repeated itself. So the FSP, they are saying the challenges was once again the robots, the MEV bots that trade on the Binance Smart Chain, short-term traders, the lack of circulation in the market, meaning that people now get in their tokens in order to sell, and community consensus not strong enough. This part is actually the main reason, right? Because community consensus just sounds like a nice word, but this literally means they messed up the project. That's all that's what I get from this. They messed up the project, messed up with the community, hence no one is excited about anything they release. And that is why FSP could not perform, because even though people were actually extracting value, getting and were excited, it was only a small number. And those people were not going to share this opportunity with people outside. They were not interested in, getting outsiders to come in and say, hey, buy this token, is going to do well. And then they would buy it and then it would not perform well because there is no marketing going on. If you have a token and you don't have a presence on social media for your token, I'm talking about Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, by the company itself, wherever developed the token, if they're not pushing that consensus, it would never perform. That's why 99% of all MLM-based cryptocurrency token projects have never seen the light of day, because the minute the marketing side extracts value and the community is making money, that's all it is. It's only selling. Who is buying? You have to market outside. That's why tokens like um there's a token that's doing extremely well on Solana. It's called Fart Coin, excuse me, right? But that's the name, Fart Coin. Why? Because it's so funny. A group of people decide that they just want to create something fun out of it. They have been promoting, marketing, and the entire group is so strong because everybody knows it has no value. It does nothing for them. It's never going to do anything for them, but they just love it enough to share it so other people hear about it later and buy. and the ones that bought it early have been selling and making a lot of money. That's just crypto in general as far as speculative currencies, right? So that's what really was the downfall. All these different things I believe is a factor on every other crypto project. It doesn't affect it if you have a strong community, right? So now let me go ahead to share on the screen. So for those that have FSP that got in the donation packs and receives their FSP and have been waiting to extract more value since they changed the script again on how we're extracting, because we're able to just sell directly in the app once you had FSU from sharing, right? And then that changed, and they said you can provide LP, and that's where everybody that wanted to extract was providing LP liquidity. But now the liquidity got removed. Majority of the liquidity got removed, right? And the price went down, like terribly down. Okay, so let me just go back so you guys can have an idea, right? FSP launched at $1 a token, hit an all-time high in days. Why? Because everyone had to provide LP. So if you had over 100,000 wallets, for example, put it in just 100 USDT, that alone is close to 10 million, right? So it went up, right, significantly. And then it started to drop, which is normal with any currency. We expected it to have hit the bottom around 59 and go back up. But guys, guess what? No marketing, no excitement, no new buyers of the token. Forget about even the staking and the opportunity around it. Just people going on the exchange on PancakeSwap and say, hey, I found a token, looks great, I want to buy it. There was none, right? So it continued to decline, right? And today, not only did it go below 10, not only did it go below where it started at $1, it's today at 17 cents, right? At 17 cents. So if you have your gifted assets, which is from the donation pack, so in this wallet, you can see I put in about, let's say around 300 USDT worth into, or a little bit more than that actually, into this gifted assets. And with the current price, that 300 is worth $47 USDT. That's terrible, right? So you can extract only if you have provided LP. So what you do is that you have to provide LP, and you can read it from the release rules that they have over here, right? But basically, let me go back, provide LP. Yeah. Okay, so you go to add liquidity under the FSP section, right? And then you would choose the BSC chain. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Am I on the right chain? Okay. Okay, this is not the right. This is not how you do it. I almost forgot. That's the old system. So what you would do is that you would basically uh go on wallet, right? You go to wallet, you go to FSP swap, right? So you go to wallet, you go to FSP swap. This is where you can trade your FSP directly for USDT, right? Or you can look at, if you were mining, you would get your mining rewards, and you can extract that as well. But you can add liquidity. So you would do 50 I would suggest you do at least 51 USDT, and then it would give you the equivalent in FSP, right? Let me just do 30 FSP. Let's say 100, right? I don't know the actual value, but it would basically adjust. Once you put the amount of FSP or the amount of USDT, it would adjust. Then you would provide LP by hitting add, right? Once you hit add, it would provide liquidity. And when you have the liquidity, you will see it in your wallet as FSP LP, right? And so when you have this FSP LP, that is when you would be able to start earning from your liquidity, okay? That's when you'd be able to start earning tokens from your liquidity that you provided. They were also rewarding people on the liquidity, but now they stopped. All you're going to get is you're going to get your daily linear release of the FSP. Now, how do you calculate the linear release? It's going to be the number of tokens that you have in there. So in this case, I have 270 tokens divided by 180, right? So let me see if I can quickly use the calculator in this example. Okay. So 270 tokens divided by 180. So technically, I would supposedly be receiving 1.5, but because it's a linear release, you don't get all the tokens at once. You divide that again by 180. So on day one, this is what I'll get, right? 0.0083. Day two, the release would actually be times two. So day two's release would be a new amount of 0.016. And then day three, you add this again and you just keep adding the 0.083 to create a new number. So every day the value is of tokens is higher. The number of tokens is higher than the previous day that you received. And then within 180 days, you would have received 50% of the tokens that you had in FSP, right? And then the next 180 days, you would have received the other half through that release. So it's supposed to take 365 days for us to get all the FSP tokens, which sounded good in the beginning if they had the right system in place to maintain the price of the token. But here we are again, where it's literally down and under, right? So that's how it will get released to you. These tokens will get released every day, and you have the ability to sell once you get your FSP released. So that is what you can do now, right? The price is terribly low, but guys, that is also what you can do now. Personally, I do not see the price going up anytime soon. Now, would would you when you go on the Zooms, would they tell you that companies working on a mechanism? You're gonna hear all of that, just like we heard on SCF, right? And we decided to be patient enough to wait because we thought, well, there's technology behind this. There has to be a long-term game plan, right? Because we've seen dozens of projects come and go. When I say come and go, you can never look at anything. Website is off, app is disabled, removed, nothing, just gone, and you just have to swallow it and just move on. But here we kind of like got dragged on because we saw the tech, we could see interactions, we can see activity, we could see meetings still being held. So in our mind, we're like, wait, there has to be a long-term play, just like any other real crypto project that was building. A lot of projects build through their worst seasons, right? You can look at Shiba Inu, you can look at um, even Bitcoin going all the way down to 17,000 just last year, right? But they are able to create a mechanism within the community that brings back excitement and new buyers to push it up. I don't see that happening here, right? Because no one is going to be excited until they can just exchange what they have for USDT. And that's not happening because you have to wait for the linear release. And so the linear release has really taken a lot of people excitement away because of today's price. Now, had it still been 100 USDT priced, still $100 a token now, that's a different question. Had it been $50 a token, that would be a different question. People will be excited because most people got in from $1 when the donation started. Some at 5, at 8 or 9 or 10. So a 5x in value, even if you trickle it down every day, it's better than what we have today. So you can extract it once you provide LP, okay? and there's a video on how to provide LP. This also has been recorded, guys, just so you can go over and follow the steps to do what you choose to do. You extract, once you extract, you come back to wallet, you go to FSP swap, and then you can just sell. So let's say I had 1,000 FSP coins, you can sell it. If you have one FSP coin, you can sell it, right? You just saw um, the price is at 0.1. So if you have 10 tokens, that would be $1.74, right? If you had 100 tokens, that would be $17, right? And 60 cents. So guys, that's the entirety of this opportunity. This is where we are at today, right? Every day I see these numbers on the screen, but I already told myself that none of these valuations are real because when I look at the real price of SCF or FTC, there's no correlation. FCF is higher in value, but no extractable liquidity backing it. You have to go into FTC 0.09. Looks like the actual price to me, right? Same thing with FSP. Sorry about that, guys. I got calls every day just coming in. FSP, right? Same thing. Moved from the high point of $100 today. It's just scratching the ground, literally. It's just literally scratching the ground, right? Hopefully, we've seen coins reverse crazy. They've done numbers. Coins have reversed, but my question is, well, where is the excitement? Where's the community, right? Who's going to be interested in doing this? There is 7 million in liquidity, right? There is 7 million in liquidity. Um, but once again, because of the price, we are all literally selling at a loss, at a 85 to 87% loss, right? If you got in at $1. Now, if you got in way above $1, then I can't even comment on that, right? So guys, that is the current status of things. Now the nodes, right? We used to be able to go to the homepage and we could see how much we had in nodes that was mining. Currently, that has been removed. When I figure out where we can find it at, you guys can also ask customer service support, right? That's what we do. We just ask them and wait for an answer. So you go into the app, customer service. Where is it? Yep, right here. Just ask them the questions, they respond, okay? That's all we've been doing, and we just wait for responses. If we don't get any or anything substantial, if it looks like it's just a generic message just saying the same thing over, then we go further to figure out who in other teams has heard something new that correlates to what we're hearing, and then we just put information together. So currently, I don't know where you can find the node history, right? But you can see that your node is mining on a daily basis, right? And it stays the same. Nothing has changed from what I've seen. It hasn't dropped the number of tokens I get. For some reason, it's always consistent. So it's actually working, right? So if you had two tokens being released a day to you, you're gonna realize it's always coming two tokens, right? So guys, that's everything. That's the update. There is gonna be a need for another update soon. And I'm gonna go into that real quick. There is a migration currently going on for FSP. And, once again, when it asks all the hard questions, join all the meetings. And what we are hearing is this project called the Mars project, which is a application built on the SCF blockchain. So they have built another application on top of it. It's kind of like I would say, it's more like a fun project. It has the space concept, is what you're saying, but then it's just basically just staking and mining all back together again. Where people that have FSP, and this is their strategy in order to reduce the sell pressure on the FSP on the smart chain, the Binance Smart Chain, users at some point they haven't officially announced the migration, can basically connect the new dApp into the wallet. So you take your 12 words and you open the same SCF wallet you have which is in a decentralized wallet. You can open it in Token Pocket or MetaMask or something, right? So you open it in Token Pocket, for example, you get the Mars link. You'd open the link in the browser. It will connect to your SCF FSP account. And now all the FSP tokens that you have in your donation, the linear release will be sent in as FSPX inside your new DApp. And this FSPX, we will be staking it to get a new token they have called um, S. Can somebody remind me? Is it STP? I'm SPX or something, right? Or STP, one of those. That's what you're going to be doing. So you not be adding new funds, right? But it would just basically just think about it. If you had 1,000 USDT worth of FSP at a 87% loss, leaves you with 130 USDT worth. And you're just like, well, can I just take it all out? I'm tired. I'll just take that as a loss. You can't even pull the whole thing. You got to get the linear release. So maybe you're getting like a maybe 50 cents worth a day. You're going to have to stake that 50 cents that you're getting every day for a 1% a day ROI, but you're not going to add new funds. So we are waiting to see when that comes out. Personally, myself, I would have been, moved on, deleted the app, but as I owe my responsibility to my community to stay on top of the information, to try everything hands on so I can be able to provide information, regardless of whether people are going to do it or not. I feel like that is, as a leader, that is part of the obligation. You have people who have equity inside, even if it's at a 99% loss. I feel like it's part of my responsibility to come show people how they can extract that, right? So I'm still hanging around, getting all the information on this Mars project and the FSPX. But from what I know, we would not be adding new funds in order to move it to this new ecosystem because they have a new token that they've been able to improve their mechanisms and it's supposed to not dump. And so they're letting us gradually come into that and sell, right? And sell that whilst they have other teams who are excited about it, marking as a new opportunity altogether, right? So we'll wait on that. If you were a part of FSP, that's probably the only update you have to wait for. If you didn't get involved in FSP within this recording, we've discussed how you can exit through the SCF coins you get every day, right? Some people would say, you know what, this is almost nothing. I'm not getting anything. I'm just going to delete the app and forget about it. Guys, you have the opportunity to do that, right? I believe it's 2025. And the reason I played that first video is we cannot let the decisions of yesterday haunt our decisions of today, right? All the negative emotion, negative energy, it only takes away from better things that could be coming your way, right? So personally, guys, do not look at your leaders as, people that are, bad or evil or anything. At the end of the day, we all get involved in these opportunities for the main purpose of actually making profits. I don't think there's any single person on the call who gets up in the morning and says, I can't wait to join a project so I can put all my money in and lose it. And I can't wait to share with somebody so they can also lose their money, right? Everyone gets into an opportunity seeing the merits that it provides. And then when it's profitable enough for them to build confidence, they say, you know what? I want to share with somebody else. They can probably do something with this, right? Time and time again, we all know that in this space, actually in any space, right? You know, whether it's real estate, whether it's e-commerce, I know people that spend thousands trying to build e-commerce brands, tens of thousands, and today they make any money from it, right? People same thing. People bought homes, right? We just saw what happened with God take care of all those that are affected by the fires in LA. But on an investment side, people also lost money. You got people that put in millions in real estate, and today insurance companies is not going to give them anything, maybe 10%. So we all know that in the space of earning from investments, it always presents a risk, right? Whether you decide to go in the traditional route, there is a risk right there. Whether you go in the digital space with crypto, where it's even more volatile, there's a much more inherent risk. Whether you go into stocks, There's also an inherent risk. There's people that invest in the stocks for years, never made money, right? Every money they make ends up being taken back by the market. So we just go into opportunities strategically. I believe we're in a new year. Guys, if you're still in this space, if you're still excited about crypto, do not lose hope. Take advantage of new opportunities that are in. One thing I have learned personally, I used to be a one opportunity guy. I'm doing one project and I don't diversify till I hit my goals, right? But I learned the hard way, right? Like many of us, right? Diversify. Okay? Maybe have two, three opportunities that's earning for you. You diversify your funds, you mitigate your risk, but you want to get into opportunities early, right? After you've assessed the level of legitimacy or um, sustainability that is around that new opportunity, and you take your own risk, and then you earn, and then you take profits as fast as you can, right? We all know this space doesn't guarantee anything, but people have made tons and tons. Like even our team, our community in SCF, I know a lot of people came in as investors, never built teams. The way we had our structure set up, we helped a ton of people actually make money from team profits, which they have never earned in any opportunity they've been in, because you go to most projects, you join most teams, they just sign you up, leave you in, you got to build yourself. But we did create a culture, and I believe that's why many of you still stuck around, just trying to figure out what's going on. So this 2025, guys, if you are in a space where you want something new, reach out to any of the admins, reach out to your friends, go online, go on YouTube. I believe it's time to transition to something new. Personally, that's what I'm doing for myself, right? I can't tell you what to do, but you can always reach out, right? If, this is something that interests you. But the recording will be made available. I'm gonna put the recording to a stop right now.